So I made Claude Code and Codex run the same exact 10K a month client workflow, and I'm actually just gonna spoil it all for you guys right now. Claude Code won the strategy half, while Codex actually took the execution half. And the interesting part isn't exactly who won what test, but rather when you guys stop trying to compare these two tools and use them together in the right order, because that's the workflow that actually gets you paying clients. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you guys the entire stack. All right, so most AI coding comparisons actually ask the wrong question. Most of them just focuses on which one can build a to-do app faster, which one can write cleaner React. And that's all cool, but I'm pretty sure you guys aren't here to just collect demo projects. You guys are here to find practical ways to actually find, sign, and maintain these paying clients. So I gave them the same job: pick a niche, find a business pain, build a concept, and then write the outreach. So in total, there's going to be 5 scoring categories. First is the niche, second is the problem, third is the demo, fourth is the outreach, and then fifth is how easily repeatable these workflows are. One brief, one winner per round, and the full stack at the end. I'll also be providing a free follow along notes document that you guys can download and use that basically includes every single prompt, every single output, as well as the full scoring breakdown that we go over throughout the video. You can find it inside our free Operator AI community, linked in the description below. Okay, so what most people don't realize is that client work actually doesn't start with building. It actually starts with picking a problem that people already want solved. This is where most AI operators lose before they even start. They open Claude Code, they open Codex, they ask for a cool SaaS idea, and then they just end up building something that nobody even asked for. So instead, I treated Claude Code more like a strategy partner. So I asked it basically to map out boring local niches with obvious digital problems. And it basically came back with, med spas, roofers with bad lead captures, as well as clinics with weak follow-ups. But it didn't just list ideas. It was thinking more like a strategist and less of an idea generator. And now if you look at the right-hand side, Codex on the other hand, we gave Codex the same exact system prompt, and it's actually started moving towards implementation almost immediately. So it was great at turning a niche into a buildable thing. As you guys can see, there's the niche as well as the problem. So it was good on that department, but it needed me to basically define more of the business logic that I was mainly looking for. I also gave it the whole vault of my Obsidian, so they both had the same exact context as well. And going back to Claude Code, not only does it give us a bunch of different niches, but it also tiers them and ranks them as well. So for me, Claude Code wins the niche department. All right, so let's take a look at this first. This is actually the demo that would actually get a roofer or a med spa owner, in our case, to actually reply. Something premium, fast, and built around one specific objection. So let me just show you which parts of this project actually came from Claude Code and which parts actually came from Codex, because that's the whole point of the stack. So on the left-hand side, we actually have Claude Code pulled up right now. So before we actually do any coding, we actually have to prompt Claude to basically generate the whole plan for us, to basically scope out the whole project and what we actually need. So Claude actually generated me a whole plan showing us what the demo actually had to prove, what sections to include, and what objection each section was basically handling. And all in all, how to package the whole thing so it is a finished client offer. And without this plan, I probably would have built something that may have looked nice, but didn't sell anything. So once the plan was clear, I actually plugged it into Codex, and Codex turned it into files, components, layout decisions, and implementation steps that is faster than what I could have done manually, and actually faster than what Claude Code could have done as well. If the offer is unclear, Codex actually will help you build the wrong thing efficiently. But if the offer is clear, it's the fastest production assistant I've personally ever used. So for round 2, Claude Code actually wins in the demo strategy, while Codex actually won the actual demo build. However, you guys got to keep in mind that the demo only exists because we ran both in sequence. So I actually gave Claude Code and Codex the same exact prompt to give me a outreach message for the med spa. And if you take a look at Codex on the right-hand side here, this is an example of what a bad outreach message looks like. So nothing is really catered, and this is something you would get if you ask any AI for a cold outreach message basically. There's no strategy behind it. Nobody would reply to this. This is the message that would actually get you blocked. So I actually gave Claude Code the same exact prompt I gave Codex too. And the way Claude framed it was completely different than Codex. It framed it as, I basically rebuilt the first section of your entire booking flow because I noticed that it was probably costing you leads. Want me to send it over? You know, that's specific. That's value first, and it lowers pressure. Claude Code didn't write a better email. It just picked a better strategy. So once Claude Code actually locked in the angle for us, I actually plugged it back into Codex and asked it for variations. Short version, long version, casual version, and direct version, as well as a follow-up sequence. Codex was fast and useful, but only because the premise was basically now strong. Same tool, but just totally different output. So for round 3, Claude Code wins the angle, while Codex actually wins the iteration speed. Same pattern as round 2. So here's the entire stack on one screen. Claude Code first to find the niche, shape the offer, plan the demo, and pick the outreach angle. Claude Code second to actually build the demo asset and generate outreach variations. The order is the whole game. The mistake people make is picking one tool and trying to force it to do both jobs. Codex by itself will help you build the wrong thing extremely fast. Claude Code, on the other hand, by itself will help you over-strategize and then just never ship. Together, in this order, they cover both halves of how a client decision actually happens. And honestly, this is bigger than just these two tools. This same logic applies to any AI stack you build. There's always a strategy tool and always an execution tool. The leverage is in the handoff, not the individual tool. So if you actually want the full notes for this video, every prompt I used, the actual demo brief that Claude and Codex generated, complete outreach reframe, as well as the full scoring breakdown, all of it is free inside our Operator AI community. And that's true for every single video on this channel. Each one comes with a follow-along worksheet, so you're not just watching. The community itself is completely for free too. There's a paid tier only if you want hands-on actual coaching and the advanced agent toolkit. But the free tier actually already gives you everything you need, from the notes, the workflows, as well as the operators inside who are already running this stuff for actual clients. And if this stack actually made sense to you, hit subscribe, because in the next video, I'll actually be showing you guys the exact Claude Code agent I use to find clients every single week. So stick around because you guys definitely don't want to miss that one.